I mean, are you going to ask questions?
Yes, that too. Like, could you just repeat some of that, or if you don't want to?
I will. But let's go with the questions first.
Okay. So.
How many questions you got?
You can just have a couple. Like, there's just I can pick from any one of these.
Okay.
Okay. So, are you ready?
Okay.
All right.
Who do I look at, him or you?
You can look at him.
Okay.
Okay. Do you think DC is a growing city right now, and do you see it as good or bad?
Do I see DC as a
Like a rapidly expanding city.
I see DC as I see a lot of housing developments going on here in Washington, D.C., a lot of condos going up and stuff like that. But I think that's not going to solve the problem to hunger in D.C. as it relates to the things we do here. We feed a large homeless community here, and a lot of the people who are in halfway houses, drug programs, and shelters can't afford a lot of what's going on in Washington, D.C., hence the problem.
Okay, like what other factors of an individual do you think that makes them more at risk becoming homeless? Like.
Oh wow. Healthcare issues. If you lose your job, say if you had a job and you lose your job and you become homeless, chances are you lose your health insurance. When you lose your health insurance, it makes it a lot more difficult to go see a doctor, for instance. I mean, anything can happen. It's wintertime outside, you can catch a common cold, catch pneumonia, the flu, and if you can't see a doctor, it's possible you can die out there.
How well do you think the local government is doing at helping the chronic homeless issue?
Oh wow. We feed about 5,000 people a day. Not everybody is in a homeless shelter here, but when you just walk through the streets of DC, you see so much homelessness going on. I don't understand why here in Washington, D.C. there's such a large homeless population. I'm not sure what the government's doing to correct the problem, but I see a lot of people on the streets right now.
Okay, and since DC is a very urban area, do you think there's a very strong sense of community, or are people more like alienated and isolated?
Oh no, I'm from Chicago, and Chicago's a lot different than DC, so if I had to make a comparison, it might be unfair, because Chicago's pretty much still a segregated town. Separated, I don't know. I think there are a lot of people, well, I know there are a lot of people who want to do their part to help homeless situations here in DC, people who want to combat hunger. You see that here, just the DC Central Kitchen, all the volunteers we get every day, so there are a lot of people who want to help.
Okay. And according to this thing I got online, there's a 5-year strategic action plan to end homelessness, and it was approved last year by the DC government. However, right now they're at a crossroads at whether they want to implement it or not, or abandon the plan to cut budgets. So what do you think about that?
I don't understand exactly what you're asking.
Like, there is a 5-year strategic action plan to end homelessness, and it was approved last
year. So there are 4 years left to do something about homelessness?
They have to decide whether or not they want to act on it. So right now, the government is like at a crossroads of whether or not they should go forward with the plan or, abandon it in sake of saving money.
Well, if they have to decide whether or not they need to go forward on it, that's a problem right there. You know what I mean? Definitely move forward on it. It was approved a year ago, and nothing's been done, and time flies. If the government doesn't do anything to correct the problem with homelessness here in Washington, D.C., who's going to do it? Communities need governments in order to get things moving. People in the community can lend a hand. You can give a person food on the street. You can even give somebody a couple of dollars. But that's not going to end homelessness. We need programs that are willing to take people off the streets, help them get back on their feet, help people get health insurance, nurse people back to health, and things of that nature. And until something like that is done, you're just going to have homelessness.
All right, and how do you feel about the work that DC Central Kitchen does for the community, and what motivates you to keep working here?
How, DC Central Kitchen does a great job with not only feeding people, because it's bigger than just feeding people. It's about nursing people back to health, about helping people become independent, moving people from one stage of life to another stage, from stages of homelessness to becoming independent, to saving money, to getting your own place, getting your families back in your life. And when you work at a place that does so many things for so many different people under so many different circumstances, and you see the transition from having almost nothing to having something, it gives you a sense of gratitude. You know you've been a part of changing somebody's life, and you hear success stories all the time about, yeah, I remember when Dave was doing so bad and now he does so much for the community. You hear these things all the time on CNN, Hero of the Year. But when you can actually see somebody go from point A to point B and keep moving forward, it gives you a sense of gratitude. First of all, you've done something to help somebody. And working here in the largest shelter, in the basement of the largest shelter in the United States, it gives you a sense of gratitude to see people go from, like I said, almost nothing to something. So we do good work here.
Okay, thank you. That's all we have for you today.
Okay.